Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
Deepak paced back and forth in her lavish room, the holographic lights casting a soft glow around her. The walls were adorned with intricate designs that told the stories of her ancestors. But right now, none of it mattered. All she could think about was the impending marriage her mother had arranged for her. "Mom, why do I have to marry a human?" she yelled, her heart racing with a mix of anger and frustration. She had just stormed into the family gathering hall, where her mother, Binita, sat with other dignitaries from their alien community, discussing the union like it was a mere transaction rather than a bond of love. The room quieted, all eyes turning towards her. Binita, a stoic woman with an air of authority, looked up, her gaze piercing. "Deepak, this is our tradition. Our people have thrived because of strategic unions like these. The humans have their strengths, and they will help secure our future." Deepak felt a fire rise within her. "This isn't about duty. It's about my life, my happiness." Her mother sighed, disappointment etched across her face. "You do not understand the bigger picture. Love will come. You must trust in the bonds we forge." With those words, so familiar yet suffocating, Deepak felt shackled by expectations. In her heart, she longed for adventure, for love that was based on choice rather than obligation. Between her struggles against tradition and her desire to carve her own path, she felt torn, like the fabric of her universe was unraveling. As she stared at her mother, a wave of determination washed over her. What if I never love him? What if I can't accept this? Silence enveloped the room. The dignitaries exchanged furtive glances, wondering how the heir to their legacy could defy her mother so openly. "Love is a choice, my child. You must be willing to give it a chance," Binita replied, her tone softer but edged with firmness. "The human's name is Alex, and he's coming to meet you today." Deepak's heart sank. Alex. The name sounded so foreign yet mundane, like a piece of soft earth soil against the stark backdrop of her cosmic reality. She had never met a human, only absorbed vague stories from her peers, often steeped in worry and wariness. Would he even understand her? That thought lingered uncomfortably in her mind as she stormed out of the hall, determined to avoid the marriage meeting altogether. She needed time to think, to breathe. Her life was about to take a decisive turn, but not before she faced one crucial question. How could she bridge the chasm between her desires and her mother's expectations? With her mind racing and her heart heavy, she ventured outside, ready to explore the lush landscapes of her home planet, hoping for clarity in the chaos of emotions swirling within her. Deepak wandered through the vibrant foliage of her home planet, Celestra, where the air was rich with the scent of blooming lumina flowers, and the sky was painted in hues of purple and blue. She sought solace in the natural beauty, hoping it would calm the tempest brewing inside her. Yet, her thoughts remained tangled in the web of familial obligation and the uncertainty of her future. As she walked deeper into the forest, a rustling noise caught her attention. Curiosity piqued. Deepak followed the sound, navigating through the towering trees that seemed to whisper secrets of bygone eras. The further she ventured, the more she felt the weight of her mother's expectations lift, leaving only the thrill of the unknown in its place. Suddenly, Deepak stumbled upon a clearing, where the sunbeams pierced through the canopy, illuminating a small, serene pond. It was a moment of peace until she noticed a figure on the far side of the water. A human male, tall and wearing casual clothes, was crouched by the pond, seemingly fascinated by something beneath the surface. Her pulse quickened as she instinctively hid behind a tree, unsure if she wanted to confront this unexpected visitor. Who was he, and why was he here? As curiosity mixed with a touch of trepidation, Deepak watched in silence. Alex, unaware of her presence, leaned closer to the water, and she caught a glimpse of his features: tousled hair, warm skin, and an expression of pure wonder. Her heart fluttered involuntarily. How could someone from a completely different world seem so captivating? Then, with a splash, the peaceful moment shattered. A small creature, a native aquatic life form, leapt out of the water, startling him. "Whoa!" Alex shouted, stumbling back and nearly falling into the pond. Deepak couldn't help but stifle a laugh at the sight, her tension easing as she observed him. "All right, little buddy, I see you." He chuckled, regaining his balance. "No need to show off your jumping skills." Encouraged by her amusement, Deepak stepped closer, determination overriding her instincts to remain hidden. For a moment, she considered turning back, but the universe had drawn her to this moment. "Are you always this clumsy around water?" she called out, stepping fully into view. Alex froze, eyes widening in surprise as he turned towards her. I didn't see you there." He quickly straightened up, brushing off the dirt from his pants. "I'm Alex." "And I'm Deepak," she replied, studying his expression. He looked intrigued rather than fearful, which was a refreshing change. "What brings a human to Celestra? Shouldn't you be preparing for a glorious wedding?" A flicker of recognition crossed his face, and he chuckled awkwardly. "Oh, you must be the bride. I can say it's a lot of pressure being the one to marry into your, very esteemed culture." Deepak felt a mix of sympathy and amusement. "You have no idea. I'd rather not marry anyone at all right now, especially a human." His brows raised, a teasing grin breaking through the initial tension. "Well, that's a relief. I'm not so sure I'm ready either. I came here to get to know my future wife." The embarrassment flickered in her cheeks, but more than that, she felt a strange pull towards him, a connection that seemed to transcend their differences. "You really think you can just charm your way into this? It's not that easy." "Maybe not," he replied, "but I believe in trying." There was sincerity in his voice, and in that moment, she noticed a spark behind his eyes, a reflection of her own desire for freedom from their binding fates. Deepak took a few steps forward, curiosity now overpowering her earlier reluctance. "What do you know about my culture?" Not much, to be honest," he admitted, scratching his head. "I've read some things, but it's kind of vague. Something about traditions and the importance of alliances, right?" She nodded slowly, finding his honesty disarming. "Yes, alliances are crucial, but they often come at the cost of personal happiness." He glanced at her, studying her expression. "And what is personal happiness to you, Deepak?" His question surprised her. She had rarely considered it since her mother's demands overshadowed her thoughts. I don't know," she finally responded. "I want someone who understands me, someone I can connect with on my own terms." "Then why not explore that?" Alex suggested. Before we dive headfirst into this marriage arrangement, why not get to know one another?" The weight of his words hung in the air, and uncertainty danced in her mind. Could it be that simple? The thought excited her, igniting a flicker of hope. "You'd be willing to do that? Get to know me?" "Absolutely," he smiled, extending his hand gently. "If you're open to it, I'd love to learn more about you and your world." Deepak stood there, considering his proposal. When did she last feel this exhilarated? With a hesitant breath, she took a step closer and clasped his hand, a small gesture that felt monumental. "All right, let's start with the Lumina flowers. They hold a significant meaning in our culture." As they began to talk, sitting by the pond together, Deepak felt the barriers between their worlds slowly begin to dissolve. Little did she know, their journey was only beginning, and the path they would walk together was fraught with challenges and discoveries unlike any she'd ever imagined. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm golden glow over the clearing as Deepak and Alex exchanged stories and laughter. With every anecdote shared, the invisible walls between their worlds began to crumble, replaced by a delicate bridge forged from curiosity and mutual understanding. "So, tell me more about your marriage customs," Alex prompted, leaning forward with genuine interest as they sat cross-legged on the soft grass by the pond. "What exactly are they expecting from you?" Deepak took a deep breath, feeling more at ease with him than she had anticipated. "Well, it's a strategic alliance, you see. Our people believe that by marrying into a strong family, we solidify our standing, ensure prosperity, and continue our lineage." She glanced away, the shadow of obligation dimming her enthusiasm. "It's all about duty rather than love." Alex frowned, furrowing his brow. "But what if you don't love him? Isn't that kind of limiting? What about personal choice?" His perspective jarred her thoughts. It was a radical notion in her society. Personal choice is complicated in our culture. We're taught to prioritize our family's legacy over our desires. Love is something we're told will come later. But what if it doesn't? He interjected, his gaze unwavering. What if you're never happy? Life is too short to just follow traditions without questioning them. His passion was contagious, and Deepak felt her heart race. In this moment, with Alex's earnestness in front of her, she realized something profound. She had the power to choose her own path. You're right. I don't want to spend my life with someone I can't connect with. Exactly. Alex's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. Then, let's explore each other's cultures. I'd love to show you Earth, and maybe you can teach me about your people's traditions in return. Deepak hesitated, a sudden wave of uncertainty washing over her. But that would mean breaking my mother's expectations. What if she finds out? Then let her, he said with fervor. You deserve to be happy, Deepak. Family is important, but so is your happiness. We can't let traditions dictate our lives, right? His encouragement sparked a fire inside her, emboldening her spirit. Maybe I could take a risk. Exploring new things could help me better understand my own feelings. As the sun faded behind the horizon, they spent hours discussing everything, from their favorite foods to dreams and aspirations. Deepak opened up about her passion for painting, expressing how her art connected her to her emotions in a way words never could. Alex listened intently, nodding as she shared her creative processes, his admiration evident. I'd love to see your artwork someday, he mused. You should let the world see your vision. Deepak felt a warmth spread through her at his words. And I'd love to see the sights of Earth. I only know what I've read, but hearing it from you makes it come alive. Their laughter echoed through the clearing as they teased one another about their differing perspectives on life. Deepak learned that while humans enjoyed an array of pop culture, Earth's complexities often mirrored her own culture structures, albeit with different values. As twilight deepened, the stars began to twinkle, and a profound silence enveloped the clearing. Deepak gazed up, captivated by the vastness of the universe above her. Do you believe the stars have stories? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I think they do, Alex replied, his voice equally soft. Each one is a tale of hope, adventure, or even loss. Then let's write our own story, Deepak suggested as she turned to him, her heart racing at the prospect. He looked at her, his eyes reflecting the cosmos. I'd like that. Just then, the tranquility was interrupted by the distant sound of voices. Deepak's heart raced as she recognized the tones of her family members approaching. Panic washed over her. I need to go. Alex's expression turned to concern. Do you think they'll? Yes, she interrupted, urgency edging her tone. They're going to be furious if they find out I was here with you. You should probably go too. Reluctantly, Alex nodded, understanding the urgency in her voice. Let's meet again tomorrow? Yes, she agreed quickly, excitement and fear mingling in her chest. I'll find a way. With that, Deepak sprinted back toward the forest path leading home, her thoughts racing faster than her feet. Each beat of her heart echoed the thrill of rebellion, a daring new chapter beginning to unfold. That night, as she lay in bed, Deepak couldn't quiet the exhilaration bubbling within her. Meeting Alex had ignited a flame she didn't know existed. She could challenge her fate, assert her own happiness amidst societal constraints. Slowly, she closed her eyes, envisioning a future untethered by tradition, a path that intertwined with Alex's journey into the unknown. The next day dawned with a burst of colors flooding the sky, mirroring the excitement that churned within Deepak. She felt alive with the possibilities that lay ahead, and the thrill of rebellion pushing her to break free from her mother's expectations. While her family prepared for the anticipated meeting with Alex, Deepak's mind was elsewhere. She planned for the next encounter and how to solidify the bond that had begun to form between them. Surely, one meeting couldn't change the trajectory of her life, but the curiosity and connection she felt were undeniable. Gathering her courage, she ventured to the family gathering hall that morning. The room buzzed with anticipation, filled with elders and dignitaries discussing the details of the upcoming union she had fought so hard to escape. Deepak's stare drifted across the room, catching sight of her mother, Binita. at the forefront of the discussions. Dressed in ceremonial garb, she commanded attention effortlessly. Deepak resisted the urge to turn around and run. She needed to face this. "Deepak," her mother beckoned, her voice cool yet familiar as she approached her daughter. "It's time to prepare for Alex. Have you composed yourself for the meeting?" "Mother, can we talk?" Deepak asked, trying to keep her voice steady. "About what?" Binita's tone was measured and cautious, the tension clear in the air. "I want to understand more about who Alex is, not just as your marriage proposal. I know nothing of him, yet my whole life is supposed to change for this union," Deepak confessed. Binita's expression softened momentarily, betraying her understanding of her daughter's dilemma. "Then, perhaps it is time for you to meet him more formally. But you must remember our customs. I can't just follow orders. This is my life, Mother." Deepak interrupted, her voice rising with newfound confidence. Binita's brow furrowed with concern. "You do not understand the ramifications of your choices, child. Our family's honor is at stake." Deepak took a deep breath, channeling her emotions into resolve. "Maybe honor is subjective, Mother. What if I want to find my own happiness, to explore my choice of love, even if it is with someone who seems so different?" Her mother regarded her carefully, weighing her words with the gravity of a life-altering decision. "You are still young. This is a time for understanding and responsibility, not reckless decisions." "Respectfully, I disagree." Deepak swallowed, standing her ground against the years of conditioning that had been imbued in her since childhood. "This is my chance to choose my own path. I can't do it unless I know what I want. I think I have the right to know him." For a moment, silence enveloped them. Before Binita could respond, the door opened, and Alex entered, bearing a nervous smile. "Hi, everyone," he greeted, his gaze meeting Deepak's. In an instant, her heart fluttered as waves of warmth spread across her cheeks. "Welcome, Alex," Binita replied, her demeanor transitioning to that of a dignified host. "We were just preparing for this significant match. Thank you for having me. I hope I can learn more about your culture. I believe our families hold many shared values." Alex's enthusiasm was contagious, and Deepak felt herself relax despite the weight of the moment. "Of course," Binita replied, gesturing toward the seating arrangement set up around the ornate table. "Please join us." As they all sat down, the tension in the air shifted slightly. Deepak discreetly observed Alex as he engaged with her mother and the elders, showing genuine interest and respect. He asked thoughtful questions about their customs, trying to connect with the nuances of her culture that were often overlooked by outsiders. "Tell me about the lumina flowers," he prompted, recalling their conversation from the previous day, and Deepak's heart swelled with pride as she began to explain their significance. They bloomed during the Festival of Unity, symbolizing the merging of different worlds. Their vibrant colors stand for hope and the continuation of life. Deepak elaborated, her passion shining through. They're a reminder that beauty can emerge from the blending of cultures. "That sounds magical," Alex responded, completely enamored. "I'd love to see them in full bloom one day." Deepak smiled, but as she noticed the elders' skeptical stares, doubt washed over her once more. Would they ever accept him? The conversation flowed, but despite the light-hearted exchanges, a persistent silence lingered from the family elders. It overshadowed the initial warmth of the gathering, a stark reminder of the division between tradition and new beginnings. As the meeting progressed, Deepak felt an overwhelming determination to carve out her own story. When the formalities wound down, signaling the end of the gathering, she glanced at Alex, whose smile remained bright despite the unease of others. "Can we meet again tomorrow?" she whispered, glancing at her mother briefly before looking back at him. "I want to show you the flowers." "Absolutely," he replied, the enthusiasm fueling her resolve. "I'd love that." With plans in place, the weight of the world felt a tad lighter for both of them. The initial fear of their family's expectations hung heavy over them, but the chance for shared experiences, to bridge the gap between their cultures, was the first step toward liberation. As they parted ways, Deepak felt a surge of hope. The rebellion was just beginning, one rooted not in defiance for its own sake, but rather in pursuit of something that could transform not just her life, but also the lives of those around her. The next day, Deepak awoke with a renewed sense of purpose. Today was special. She had planned a visit to the Lumina flower fields for Alex, not just to share her culture, but to deepen their bond in a way that went beyond mere tradition. After a hasty breakfast, she slipped out of the family home, her heart racing with anticipation. The Lumina flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, a mesmerizing sight that reminded her of home. As she approached the fields, she spotted Alex, who was already there, marveling at the sight. "Wow, this is incredible," he exclaimed, turning to her with wide eyes. "I can't believe how beautiful they are." Deepak beamed with pride. "They're the heart of our celebrations, especially during mating season." The flowers symbolized the merging of two lives, like the intertwining vines. He listened intently as she explained the significance of the flowers, how they were a symbol not just of beauty, but of love, of commitment, and the completion of a bond. Our people believe that during mating season, the bonds forged among partners are strengthened here, as the Lumina flowers release their potent essence, she added, her cheeks flushing at the mention of such a personal subject. "Potent essence? What does that mean?" Alex inquired, curiosity etched on his face. "The Lumina flowers bloom with an energy that's believed to enhance emotions and desires, stirring love and passion in those who are near them," Deepak replied, feeling a flutter in her stomach at the thought of sharing such an intimate part of her heritage. "Then we should be careful," he teased lightly. "I don't want to fall too hard too quickly." Deepak laughed, but beneath the surface, a seriousness was forming. "Mating and marriage are important parts of my culture. It's a commitment that isn't taken lightly. But I want this," she gestured between them, "to be meaningful, unlike the arrangement they have in mind for me." "I understand," Alex said, his expression turning serious. "I want to show you that love can be more than a duty. Together, we can create our own bond based on understanding and connection, not obligation." With a sudden surge of courage, Deepak stepped closer. "Do you want to maybe experience that essence together?" The words hung in the air between them, heavy with implication and nervous excitement. He met her gaze, a slow smile forming. "Is that how your culture does it? To create a bond and feel the connection fully?" "Yes," she whispered, her heart pounding. "It's a way to celebrate and affirm our intentions." Alex took a moment to absorb her proposal, and when he nodded, a thrill coursed through her. They moved closer among the Lumina flowers, the vibrant colors swirling like a canvas of possibilities. As they sat amidst the blossoms, they shared stories of their past, hopes for the future, and dreams never spoken. When they reached for each other's hands, the air shimmered with the warmth of the petals surrounding them, wrapping them in a cocoon of magic. In that moment, their connection deepened, and as they shared a kiss, a wave of warmth washed over them. Deepak felt the essence of the flowers resonating with their energies, melding into a singular experience that felt both new and natural. Under the celestial sky, the boundaries of their world seemed to dissolve, and in that union, they felt a spark of something beautiful. With the bond solidified between them, Deepak and Alex faced the ultimate test: acceptance from their families and communities. After their encounter in the fields, they had promised to confront the obstacles ahead together. "Today's the day," Deepak said nervously as she and Alex approached her family's gathering hall. "Are you ready?" He squeezed her hand gently. "Together, remember?" They entered the hall, where the elders and Binida were already assembled. The atmosphere was tense, every eye fixed upon them as the weight of tradition pressed against their shoulders. "Deepak, why are you here?" Binida's voice was both stern and curious, her eyes narrowing at the sight of Alex by her daughter's side. "Mother, I've come to speak about my future," Deepak declared, clenching Alex's hand for support. "I've made a choice about who I want to be with, and I cannot go through with an arranged marriage to someone I don't know or love." There was an immediate upheaval in the room, murmurs flitting through the crowd like startled birds. Binida's face betrayed her shock, while the elders looked on with disapproval. "You defy our customs, after everything we have sacrificed." Binida's voice trembled with anger, yet there was a glimmer of hurt woven within it. "I'm not defying them for the sake of rebellion," Deepak replied, her voice steady. I want to embrace the love I feel for Alex. He respects our culture and represents something new, something hopeful. We're creating our own traditions. What is this madness? An elder spat, unable to contain their disdain. A mere human cannot comprehend the depth of Celestra's customs. Alex stepped forward, his voice steady. I may be human, but I have come to learn, to appreciate, and to love Deepak for who she is. I want to honor her heritage while forging a new path together. The silence that followed felt deafening, and uncertainty echoed through the assembly. Deepak's heart raced as hope flickered like a faint light within her. Love is universal, she added. The essence of the Lumina flowers showed us that. It's not just about breeding alliances. It's about cultivating a connection that honors all aspects of each culture. The room surged with tension as Binaita wrestled with her feelings. You think you can change the way things are done? She paused, taking a deep breath, her voice softening. A union with a human. It's unheard of. But isn't it time for change, Mother? Deepak urged, the fire of conviction in her words burning bright. Love can transcend norms. Our world is changing. Shouldn't we change with it? At last, Binaita's expression softened, the weight of the decision pressing heavily on her shoulders. Your happiness must matter most, my daughter. But know this, the path you choose will require sacrifice. I understand, and I'm ready to embrace whatever that may entail, Deepak replied, her heart resolute. Alex and I will work to bridge our cultures, weaving our stories together as we grow. A long silence followed, filled with contemplation. One by one, the elders exchanged glances, uncertainty underlying their expressions. Finally, Binaita spoke again, her voice shaking slightly. If you truly believe in this love, I cannot deny you the chance to explore it, but know that you will have to face the skepticism of our people. A collective gasp rippled through the assembly, but they looked to their matriarch, the tension in the room palpably shifting. And you, human, she continued, her gaze piercing Alex. If you truly wish to enter this family, you must respect and uphold our customs. I will, Alex responded earnestly. I promise to honor your traditions and learn everything I can about your ways. Satisfied, Binaita slowly nodded. Then let this union be a testament to love beyond borders. May it inspire both worlds to embrace change. Cheers erupted from parts of the assembly, as others shifted uneasily, grappling with the reality of change. Deepak felt a swell of happiness, elation blooming within her. Gratefulness surged through her as she turned to Alex, their hands still intertwined. Thank you for believing in this with me. I'll always stand by you, he assured her with a smile. As the gathering concluded, filled with discussions of the future and the beginning of a new path, Deepak found herself filled with hope. Together, they were writing their own story, one of love, unity, and the courage to defy expectations. Months later, Deepak and Alex stood side by side in a beautiful ceremony amidst the Lumina flowers, their union celebrated not just by their families, but by many who had witnessed the power of love to bridge worlds. The vibrancy of the flowers surrounded them, and the air was electric with the essence of new beginnings. Deepak gazed at Alex, her heart swelling with pride and affection. Each petal seemed to shimmer with their shared joys and struggles, now coupled with the promise of a future filled with possibility. With their families standing beside them, some with lingering reservation, others with open hearts, their marriages embraced the duality of their cultures, a lively tapestry woven from tradition and the desire for individual happiness. In the presence of these flowers, we affirm our dedication to one another, Deepak began, her voice clear and strong. May our lives be intertwined, thriving in love and acceptance. Alex smiled, holding her hand tightly. And may we continue to learn from one another, bridging our worlds with understanding and joy. As they exchanged vows and shared their first kiss under the celestial skies, laughter and cheers erupted around them, signaling the remarkable union of two worlds, one that embraced change and celebrated love in all its forms. As the Lumina flowers began to bloom, Deepak realized that she had not only chosen her own path, but also opened the door for others to explore love beyond boundaries, signaling a shift that would ripple through generations to come.